Hello students, it's Gosia here, your English teacher, and this is the series Your English Notes. Today I would like to talk about one thing which I haven't mentioned before. Of course, I've explained the differences between some and any, no and none. I've also talked about all, yes, but I haven't talked about one thing. I haven't talked about when we use these words with of and when we use them without of. And this is what I would like to present today. So first, let's look at the board, okay? And I put these words here one more time. I think you know the meaning of these words. If you would like to remember the meaning better, you can, for example, draw something like that, yeah? And okay, and let's say that all is 100% of what you have or what you are talking about, and no and none is 0, yes, percent of what you are talking about. So for example, all the students in my class, yeah, and no students, okay, or none of the students. I have already used some examples of what I want to explain to you today. But so here you have this meaning, yes, and now I will draw a table which will be useful. As you remember, we use all of these words when we talk about countable nouns, yes, but in plural, and uncountable nouns. And we have got some examples of countable nouns, students, yes, and uncountable nouns, water or money. And look, when do we use these words with of and when do we use them without of? Look here, I will draw a table, and in this table I will try to explain everything, yes? So look, when we talk about some nouns in general, okay, we don't mean anything specific, then we use them without of. Look, you can remember it by writing something like that, yeah? So I will write all of these one more time, yes? So almost, some and any, of course you remember the difference. And no, here we will use no. And then, for example, students, yes? Students and water, let's say. Okay, yeah? So when we talk generally, we don't use of, yes? So for example, all students go to school. Yes, this is general. I don't mean any specific students, not my students or not students in this classroom, but all students generally, yes? Most students don't like school, for example, yes? Some students like school, but no students like school more than parties, for example, yes? Of course, any would be used in questions, so you can ask a question. Do any students like school more than parties? Generally, yes. We are not talking about any specific students. So here, these words will be used without of, okay? But when we are talking about something specific or someone specific, let's draw it like that, okay? So here we'll have specific. And I will one more time write these words. Okay, some and any. And this time, instead of no, we will use none. I have already explained the difference, so today you will see another difference between these two. Okay, and when it comes to all, of is optional. So I will write here off like that, but when it comes to the rest of them, we'll use of, yeah? But I have already told you that we need of when we talk about something or someone specific. And how do we know when it comes to grammar, of course, how do we know when we are talking about something specific? Then we use, for example, the definite article, the, yes? We know that when we say a pen or some, because now we are talking about plural, yes? So when we say some pens, they are general, yes? But when we say the pens, for example, the pens I'm holding, yes? So we are talking about specific pens, the ones I'm holding. And so there is one option to make something specific. You can also point to something, yeah? And here we'll use this or these. This will be for uncountables, yes? And that, those. Okay? If you don't know what is the difference between them, you can watch one of my films when I explain this difference, okay? But no, I'm not going to do it now because we don't have too much time. Yes, and for example, you can also use a pronoun like my, your, his, okay? And then we use the noun which we need. So for example, yes, students, okay, or water, yeah? I hope you understand this difference between what is general, yes, and what is specific. Okay, so for example, all the students or all of the students in my classroom have pets, for example, yes, and most of the students have dogs, let's say. Some of the students have cats, okay? And for example, someone can ask a question, yeah? Do any of your students have hamsters? Okay, for example, and I will say no, none of my students have hamsters, okay? I hope you understand this difference here. I will just write one more thing, because here we can use also all, most, some, or any, okay, and none. And again we can use of, and we can use it with pronouns, because of course they are also specific, yeah? For example, them and us, okay? And I hope you watch my series because you like English, so we can say all of us like English, okay? And for example, most of us, or maybe most of you are students, I think so. And some of it, yeah, we'll use it when we talk about uncountable nouns. So maybe I can give you the example with water. Yeah, let's say that I've got a lot of water here on my table, and I will say that some of it is clean, okay, let's say, and some of it is dirty, okay? For example, and none, so for example, none of it, I mean none of this water is what is cold, yes? So none of it is cold. All right, I hope you understand this difference, and now it's clear for you when we should use all, most, some and any, no and none with of, and when we shouldn't put of. Yes, so when we talk about something in general, we don't put of. When we talk about something specific, we put of. All can be used either with of or without of. All right, so I hope it's clear for you. If you would like to get this note, but in a nicer form, because always after these lessons I put these notes into the computer, and of course they are in a nicer form because my handwriting isn't very good. So if you'd like to get this picture note of this lesson, subscribe to my newsletter. You can find the link in the description below this film, okay? And thank you for today, and see you in the next film. Goodbye.